That they're done with religion. They're called nuns and duns.
Yeah, we're talking about N-O-N-E-S. WSBT-22's Suzanne Spencer is here. And Suzanne, this is a rapidly growing group of people.
There are more nuns than Catholics or evangelical Protestants in the country, two religions that are dropping in numbers. Now, according to a recent Pew study, 36 million people identify as religiously unaffiliated. That was in 2007. That number jumped to more than 55 million people in 2014. Many of those people call themselves nuns. Now, that's more than 20% of the American population and counting. The beat, the sound, the strokes. The Sucker Punch Band is known for their tunes.
It's just the rhythm, the groove. It's syncing up with four other human beings.
But guitarist Kevin Chodzinski strums his own tune. His band practices at a Berrien County church, but you won't find Kevin Chodzinski anywhere near religion.
Are you a nun or are you a dun? What do you identify with?
I'm both, actually. I'm a nun and a dun. I was brought up Polish Catholic, and now I'm not Polish Catholic. I'm nun and dun.
At 30, he began researching. Then he began questioning. Now at 44, Chodzinski said he knew religion wasn't for him.
I was probably for 2 or 3 years feeling that way, but not willing to tell anybody, just because I know the stigma attached to it.
He's one of 19 million Americans who identify as a nun. That's what Notre Dame political science professor Jeff Lehman is on sabbatical studying.
What are nuns?
There's a pretty wide variation in the kind of people who might be part of that group.
In a Pew Research study, a nun can be an atheist, an agnostic, religious, or unreligious. It could be those who identify as nothing in particular, or even that religion is somewhat important to them. Lehman says nuns are known for moving in and out of being a nun.
Who here, before you were coming to Vineyard, would have considered yourself either a nun or a dun?
But finding that nun population is what the Vineyard Church in Mishawaka is trying to do.
Did you identify as a nun or dun?
I was a dun, clearly a dun.
27-year-old Zach Lesh grew up Catholic. He said he felt he was never plugged in. The same for 22-year-old Boston Bays. Friends both brought them to the Vineyard.
Sometimes you get really comfortable living like the way you are used to living, but you don't know how much more is like out there.
For them, the out there was here, a church that has grown rapidly with those who have fallen away from other faiths. The key, relationships.
That's probably the main reason I come to this church, is because I have made so many friends, and you really can get involved easily.
But unlike Bays, many other people, age aside, aren't connecting with religion. From 2007 to 2014, the nun population grew across all generations in a Pew study. 2% of the silent generation, a 3% rise in the baby boomers, a 4% rise in Generation X, and the older millennial generation saw a 9% rise. All of those people identifying as atheist, agnostic, or nothing in particular.
The congregation was established in 1905. But
dealing with that drop in numbers is something Rabbi Karen Campanez at Temple Bethel is also dealing with, but their approach is different than the Vineyards.
Judaism is not a proselytizing religion. In other words, we don't go out and seek members or people to join us. However, if people would like to join us, then they're certainly welcome.
Because they don't actively seek members, Rabbi Campanez says they focus on maintaining the population that they do have. She says many of whom are aging. A Pew Research study says that the rise of nuns could be due to declining religiosity, generational replacement, or even a relabeling of a group of people that's already been around. But the record that makes up Kevin Chodzinski's song isn't about being spiritual or a deity or an afterlife.
What do you think people need to know about nuns and duns?
We're just regular people that go to work, have kids, and enjoy music and arts and whatever else. There's nothing spooky about us. We're just not buying what they're selling.
Religion or not, a decision each one of us has to make. We're seeing a drop in religious behavior altogether. More people say religion is not important in their life. We're seeing a 57% in 2007. That's up to 65% in 2014. Now, along with that, 56% of people said that they've never prayed in 2007. That number jumped jumping up to 62% in 2014. Now, another big growth that we're seeing, those people who don't believe in God at all. That number, 22% in 2007, jumping to 33% in 2014. Now, a group of professors at Notre Dame believe they know why this trend is happening. Rick, we've got their take on this story on our WSBT mobile app.
Suzanne, very interesting story. Thank you. We continue our Finding Faith Week tomorrow night. Right now, there's a lot of talk about religion and what divides us, but some local groups are focusing on the similarities by working with other religions. Watch it tomorrow at 6 right here on WSBT 22.